感谢神，我们今天是安息圣日。
Thank the Lord, today is a Sabbath day.
愿我们来守安息日的人都得到神的祝福。
May all of us here will receive God's blessing.
也愿神来祝福那些不能跟我们守安息日的。
May God also bless those who cannot be here with us.
因为今天是一个施比的日子。
Because today is a day of blessings.
那我们今天用好牧人这个题目来互相的勉励。
And today we use the topic of the Good Shepherd as a mutual encouragement.
我们知道以色列民就是一个游牧民族。
We know that the Israelites were nomads.
他们住着帐篷以畜牧为业。
And they were shepherds and they lived in tents.
所以在圣经里面常常会用牧人跟羊来比喻神跟人的关系。
So naturally they will often use a comparison of shepherds and sheep as a comparison for human and God.
我们先看创世纪。
Let's look at Genesis.
请看46章。
Let's look at chapter 46.
创世纪46章31节。
Genesis 46, verse 31.
创世纪46章31节。
Genesis 46, verse 31.
约瑟对他的兄弟和他父的全家说：“我要上去告诉法老，对他说，我的兄弟和我父的全家从在迦南地，现今都到了这里来。”32节。
32.
他们本是牧羊的人，以养牲畜为业。他们把羊群、牛群和一切所有的都带来的。33节。
33.
等法老招你们的时候，问你们说：“你们以何事为业？”34节。
34.
你们要说，你的仆人从幼年直到如今，都以养牲畜为业，连我们的祖宗也都以此为业。这样，你们可以住在歌珊地，因为凡牧羊的都被埃及人所厌恶。
31. Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, I will go up and tell Pharaoh, and say to him, My brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me. 32. And the men are shepherds, for their occupation has been to feed livestock, and they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have. 33. So it shall be, when Pharaoh calls you and says, What is your occupation? 34. That you shall say, Your servant's occupation has been with livestock, from your youth even till now, both we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians.
31节到34节这一段是描述雅各的全家跟约瑟在埃及相认。
This passage talks about Joseph and Jacob's household.
那约瑟告诉他的爸爸跟他的全家，就他兄弟，就说，若是去跟法老讲的时候，就要说我们本是牧羊人。
When they have finally met in Egypt, Joseph told Jacob's family that they have to admit that they are shepherds.
34节说，连我们的祖宗也都是以此为业。
That also their fathers were of the same occupation.
所以他们牧羊这个事情是神拣选亚伯拉罕一直到现在，他们都是以牧羊为他们的职业的。
So ever since God has chosen Abraham, they have always been shepherds.
亚伯拉罕被神拣选以后，他就住着帐篷，然后以畜牧为业。
So ever since Abraham was chosen, he himself lived in tents and was also raising livestock.
他的帐篷移动，他们移动到哪里，那就生活在哪里。
And wherever they moved, they lived there.
所以整个以色列民，他们就是过着一个游牧的生活。
So the Israelites, they passed a life of the nomads.
那这也预表了我们今天的世人，而且在这世上它也是一个漂泊的，一个不稳定的。
This also signifies that for us, our lives in this world is very unstable.
我们今天虽然房子不会动，
Today, even though our houses don't move,
可是我们也是从台湾移到这里，或者有人到美国，到各个地方。
but we also have applied for immigration to come here.
那在神眼中，我们都是游牧的。
But in God's eyes, we are all nomads.
我们在什么地方，我们就吃那个地方的食物。
Wherever we go, we eat at that place.
所以神 为什么拣选一个这样的民族，就是要让人去思考，地上不是永远的家。
And why does God choose a nomad people to, as His chosen people? It is so we can reflect upon what is our true house.
所以希伯来书里面有谈到说有更美的家乡。
Because in the book of Hebrew, it tells us that we will have a even sweeter home.
那犹太人、以色列人，他们整个的生活，就以当时旧约时代，他们当时的生活就是以牧羊为主的。
As for these Israelites, their main occupation was truly as shepherds.
所以32节说，他们本是牧羊的人。
So verse 32 says, these men are shepherds.
所以牧羊就变成他们主要的工作，主要的职业。
So herding sheep is their main occupation.
然后当法老问你们的时候，你们要告诉他说，我们就是从幼年到现在都是牧羊的。
And when Pharaoh asks, they have to reply that they have been with the livestock from their youth even till now.
约瑟很了解埃及人的一个想法。
And Joseph, he understands the thoughts of the Egyptians.
约瑟贵为一个宰相。
Joseph, he is a leader.
他知道埃及人怎么在看牧羊人。
He's a governor, and he knows how the Egyptians look towards shepherds.
34节最后一句说，因为凡牧羊的都被埃及人所厌恶。
He says in the last part of verse 34 that every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians.
约瑟这个人没有忘本，没有忘记他自己是谁。
Joseph himself, he did not forget who he was.
他没有想到说，我现在贵为宰相，所以要欺骗一切，应该一切。
He doesn't think to himself that now that I'm a governor, I can do whatever I want.
他知道埃及人讨厌牧羊人。
He knows that the Egyptians, they hate the shepherds.
我记得我小时候，那个学校老师跟我家长都会讲，你好好读书，不然你要去牧羊。
I remember when I was young, my teachers would tell me, you have to study well. If not, you have to go take care of the livestock.
其实我那时候住在彰化的一个乡下。
And actually, I was living in the countryside.
乡下人都会说，你这个牧羊不好。
And in the countryside, everybody said that raising livestock is not good.
但是神拣选了世人认为不好的牧羊人。
Yet God chose what people consider to be an abomination.
我们请看那个哥林多前书第1章。
Let's look at 1 Corinthians chapter 1.
21节。
Chapter 1, verse 21.
哥林多前书第1章21节。
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21.
世人凭自己的智慧既不认识神，神就乐意用人所当作愚拙的道理拯救那些信的人，就是神的智慧了。
Verse 21. For since in the wisdom of God, the world through wisdom did not know God, it pleased God through the foolishness of the message preached to save those who believe.
26节。
26.
弟兄们啊，可见你们蒙召的，按着肉体有智慧的不多，有能力的不多，有尊贵的也不多。27节，神却拣选了世上愚拙的，就有智慧的羞愧；又拣选世上软弱的，叫那强壮的羞愧。28节，神也拣选世上卑贱的人，被人厌恶的，以及那无有的，为要废掉那有的。29节，使一切有血气的在神面前，一个也不能自夸。30节，但你们得在基督耶稣里是本乎神，神又使他成为我们的智慧、公义、圣洁、救赎。
26. For you see your calling, brethren, that not many wise according to the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble, are called. 27. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things which are mighty. 28. And the base things of the world, and the things which are despised, God has chosen, and the things which are not, to bring to nothing the things that are. 29. That no flesh should glory in his presence. 30. But of him you are in Christ Jesus, who became for us wisdom from God, and righteousness, and sanctification, and redemption.
在这个地方神拣选的是人被见的、被人厌恶的，以及那无有的。
Here it tells us that those that God has called, they are
在28节。
they are base things and they are despised.
所以神拣选亚伯拉罕其实亚伯拉罕在当时的社会里面，他是一个畜牧为业的一个牧羊的。
Actually, when God chose Abraham, he was a shepherd.
所以牧羊虽然在埃及人的眼中看为卑微，但是在神的眼中，他是看为圣洁。
When raising livestock is considered an abomination to the Egyptians, it is considered as something good in the eyes of God.
所以保罗他自己身为犹太人，他身为一个知识分子，他身为一个法利赛人，他是一个宗教里面的重要人物。
So Paul, he was born as a Pharisee, and he was also very knowledgeable in his religion.
但他很清楚知道神在拣选什么。
But he was also very clear in knowing who that God has chosen.
所以从创世纪以来到保罗这个时期，保罗看这段，就保罗很有感触的写的这一段。
So when he sees from Genesis to his time, he wrote this passage.
人凭自己不能成就神的义。
He knows that man by himself cannot complete God's will.
唯有神的怜悯、神的恩，才能够来给我们成义。
Only through God's mercy and grace that his will can be completed.
所以雅各他们去见法老的时候，他们都是牧羊人。
So when Jacob's household went to see Pharaoh, they were all shepherds.
创世纪47章以后，雅各见到法老，他就这样说。
So after chapter 47, when they finally meet Pharaoh, that's what they said.
他不会因为儿子当宰相，所以我就欺骗一下法老。
They do not lie to the Pharaoh just simply because his son is a governor.
歌珊地对埃及人来讲，那不是一个好地。
The land of Goshen to the Egyptian, it wasn't a good land
因为它是一个乡下。
because it's in the middle of nowhere.
但是对犹太人来讲，那是一个很好的地方。
But to these Israelites, it was a great place.
所以他们就住在那里。
So they lived there.
一住了400多年。
And ever since they started living there, they lived there for 400 years.
对，那另外一个人物就是摩西。
The other character is Moses.
摩西他本来是住在皇宫的。
We see that Moses used to live in the palace.
但是摩西因为了自己希伯来人的一个利益关系，所以他打死了埃及人。
And because he wanted to defend his brethren, he killed an Egyptian.
那被人知道了，他就逃跑。
When others found out, he ran away.
他跑到旷野里面。
He ran to the wilderness.
跑到旷野做什么？
What did he do there?
娶太太牧羊。
He got married, and then he became a shepherd.
摩西神要拣选他当神重要的工人。
Moses was to be chosen to become a good servant of God.
神训练他，不单只是在皇宫里面。
When God trained him, it wasn't just in the palace.
他前40年在埃及，在皇宫里面学了很多埃及人的智慧，埃及人的学问。
First 40 years of his life, he learned all the wisdom of the Egyptians.
但是他后面的40年呢，神让他在旷野里面去牧羊。
But the 40 next years, he spent it in the wilderness raising sheep.
让摩西去了解他的祖宗就是以牧羊为业的。
So that Moses can understand that his ancestors were shepherds.
去磨练摩西他的耐心。
So that he can train his own patience.
所以摩西在旷野的40年里面，他每天所见的不是人，而是他的羊群。
So Moses in the wilderness, every day he met not man, but his sheep.
他手里拿的杖，不是后来显神迹的那只杖，而是当时在牧羊、在赶羊群的杖。
The staff that he held in his hand, it wasn't a staff that led his people out of Egypt, but it was a staff that brings the sheep back.
神拣选他的人，反而要去牧养。
He chose this person so that he may become a shepherd.
神让他离开皇宫。
He made him leave the palace.
如果摩西从皇宫里面出来拯救以色列民，
If Moses was to save the Israelites from the palace,
我们看到的是摩西依靠他在埃及在皇宫里面所学的一切。
then we will see Moses using everything he learned in the palace to save these people.
但是当摩西在旷野40年以后见到神，摩西变成一个极为没自信的一个对自己非常没有自信，而且非常谦虚的一个人。
After 40 years in the wilderness, we see that Moses became someone very humble and not very self-confident.
我们看出埃及记第2章。
Let's look at Exodus chapter 2.
第2章20节，他对女儿们说：“那个人在哪里？你们为什么撇下他呢？你们去请他来吃饭。”21节，
21.
摩西甘心和那人同住，那人把他的女儿希波拉给摩西为妻。22节，
22.
一下省略。
Exodus chapter 2, verse 20. So he said to his daughters, And where is he? Why is it that you have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. 21. Then Moses was content to live with the man, and he gave Zipporah his daughter to Moses.
第3章第1节，
Let's now look at chapter 3, verse 1.
摩西牧养他岳父米甸祭司叶特罗的羊群，一日领羊群往野外去，到了神的山，就是何烈山。
Verse 1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. And he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God.
所以在这个地方，摩西他到了牧羊人。
So here we see that Moses was tending the flocks.
摩西这个牧羊人跟那个雅各的这个牧羊人不太一样。
But Moses as a shepherd was different than Jacob.
雅各当牧羊人，他用了计策去欺骗了他的哥哥，用了计策去欺骗了他的岳父。
Jacob used his own cunning and tricked his brother and tricked his uncle.
雅各处处为了自己，
He did everything for himself.
但是神并没有放弃雅各。
But God did not forsake Jacob.
神跟雅各显现。
God showed himself to Jacob.
我们刚唱赞美诗234首，刚那个诗颂的时候，最后一首就是雅各看到天地。
Actually, when we were singing the hymns, hymn number 234 was talking about this story.
那他要见他哥哥的时候，他跟神摔跤。
And when Jacob was about to meet his brother, he had a match with. He was wrestling with God.
那跟之后呢，神就赐给他一个名字叫以色列，就得胜的意思。
That is when God gave him a name called Israel, which means victory.
那之后呢，他就过着他12个儿子互相残杀、互相斗争的一个生活。
Afterwards, he lived a life where he saw his sons fight with each other.
但是摩西不一样，
But Moses was different.
他虽然住在皇宫里面，
Even though he lived in the palace,
但是他心里想的是他的百姓。
but his heart was thinking towards his people.
虽然他只是希伯来人的一个，
Even though he was only one of the Hebrews,
但是他想到他的子民，他的百姓，他的神。
but he thought about his people. He thought about God.
40年的牧养当中，他心里一定很苦闷。
And I believe that for 40 years in the wilderness, he must feel very sorrowful in his heart,
因为他满心的志气，就是想要去拯救以色列民。
because all he wanted to do was to save his people.
但是以色列民不给他救啊！
But the Israelites wouldn't let him save them.
以色列人说：“谁立你们当我们的首领
The Israelites said, Who made you our leader
和审判官呢？”
and our judge?
所以 以色列不愿意听他
So the Israelites do not want to listen to him.
但是牧养的40年以后
But after 48 years as a shepherd,
神亲自来显现
God appeared to him.
神亲自拣选他，
God chose him.
所以这个时候摩西不再牧养了，
So at this point, Moses is no longer a shepherd.
他说转到另外一个牧养，
Now he tends another flock.
所以他要得人如鱼，他牧的羊变成他以色列的百姓，
Now he is going to tend the flock of God, which is the Israelites.
所以他知道牧的是几百万的以色列民，
So his herd is now few hundred thousands of Israelites,
他的杖不再是去赶羊群，
a few million Israelites. And his staff is no longer to control the sheep,
他的杖是在以色列民面前显出神的荣耀，
but his staff is to use to show the glory of God in front of the Israelites.
他的杖让以色列民去看到神，
His staff lets the Israelites see God.
他的杖在以色列民面前显神迹，
His staff performed miracles before the Israelites.
所以一个牧羊杖变成神的杖
So this rod for shepherding became the rod of God.
我们看第4章17节。
Let's look at chapter 4, verse 17.
17节，你手里要拿这杖，好行神迹。
17. And you shall take this rod in your hand with which you shall do the signs.
再看20节，
Let's read verse 20.
20节，摩西就带着妻子和2个儿子，叫他们骑上驴回埃及地去。摩西手里拿着神的杖。
Verse 20. Then Moses took his wife and his sons and set them on a donkey. And he returned to the land of Egypt, and Moses took the rod of God in his hand.
所以一只牧羊杖在牧羊羊群的，变成神的杖，在牧羊群众。
So this rod that was used to shepherd the sheep now is used to guide the people of God.
所以我们今天在教会里面就会提到牧羊这个字
So today we often speak about shepherd.
一个神的工人、传道者、长老执事、负责人在牧羊教会。
The ministers, the preachers, deacons, they all minister over the church. They take care of the flock.
所以这些神的工人呢，就变成了牧羊人。
So all of these ministers become shepherds.
我们宗教教育的这些教员，也都是小羊，这些教会里面小羊的牧人、小牧人。
And even all the RE teachers, these are also shepherds.
所以这个当好一个好牧人，变成今天我们要学习的。
So becoming a good shepherd is very important for us to learn about this.
摩西从80岁以后被神拣选，他就开始当一个真正的好牧人。
And when Moses was truly chosen by God in his 80 years old, when he was 80 years old, he truly became a good shepherd.
他牧养他岳父的羊，牧养的好不好，圣经没写，但是他牧养以色列民，神的这些子民，牧养的很好，圣经有写。
We don't know if he was a good shepherd when he was tending the sheep herds, but when he was tending to God's people, we know that he was a great shepherd.
羊不会吵闹，
Sheep will not fight.
羊顶多就跑掉，你把它勾回来。
Sometimes they might run away. You just have to pull them back.
羊不会跟你顶嘴，
And sheep will not argue with you.
但是以色列民会跟摩西来埋怨，来顶嘴，
But the Israelites would always argue and complain.
连他的哥哥亚伦，他的姐姐米利亚也会来跟他顶嘴。
Even his brother and sister, Aaron and Miriam, they both argued with Moses.
一个面对他不会讲话的羊群，牧养不简单，要面对会跟你这边吵吵闹闹的这些选民，就真的不简单。
Of course, to lead a herd of sheep that cannot even speak, it could be difficult.
No.
But facing a herd of men who can complain to you, that becomes truly a great task.
那我们如果看摩西的整个他的事迹，我会发现摩西有个特性，
If we look at his story, we know that Moses has something very special.
他对任何一个他所带领的事件，他都不会自己去承担，
No matter what he does not bear it on his own.
他永远去求问神。
he always goes and asks God.
他把重担推给神。
He pushes all his burden onto God.
所以主耶稣说：“凡劳苦挑重担的，你们来我这里，必得轻省。”
That's why Jesus says, "Whoever has burden, come to me, and your burden will be lessened."
为什么我们今天在教会里面大家这么沉重呢？
How come all of us have so much burden?
因为我们在承担某些东西。
Because we're holding on to some things.
如果摩西跟我们一样在承担什么东西，摩西做不下去。
If Moses holds on to everything, he will not be able to be a good leader.
所以摩西就会将他的肩膀扛的重量移给神。
That is why Moses puts his burden onto God.
所以摩西得的秘密就是神，
And so Moses, his secret is God.
因为有神，所以摩西所有一切都是照神做的。
And because there is God, then Moses can do everything according to God.
对，如果摩西离开了神，摩西什么都不能做。
If Moses departs from God, then he can do nothing.
为什么百姓愿意听摩西的？
Why is the people willing to listen to Moses?
摩西算什么？
Who is Moses?
神没有拣选他之前呢、以色列民就说是谁立的，我们当首领、当审判官的。
Before Moses was chosen by God, the Israelites told him, "Who made you the leader among us?
啊，我为什么要听你们？我们为什么要听你的？
Why should we listen to you?"
所以这些百姓会听摩西的，是因为他背后有一支杖，杖的背后有神。
The people are willing to listen to Moses because Moses has this rod, and behind this rod was God.
所以能够让摩西在带领以色列民40年在旷野里面，是因为神。
And for Moses to be able to lead these people for 40 years in the wilderness, that is because of God.
所以他就变成了一个很好的牧人。
So he became a very good shepherd.
所以在圣经里面，一个非常好的一个神的工人就是摩西。
So in the Bible, one of the best worker of God is Moses.
甚至当亚伦跟以色列民一起造牛犊的时候，
Even when Aaron led the Israelites to sin by building the golden calf,
哎，他那个神非常生气
God was extremely angry.
啊，摩西就要到神面前去为百姓代求。
And Moses went before the Lord and prayed for his people.
他用自己的生命册里面的名字来换取以色列民的生命。
He was willing to use his own life to exchange for the life of the Israelites.
啊，我们请看出埃及记32章，
Let's look at Exodus chapter 32.
请看34节。
Exodus chapter 32, verse 30.
出埃及记32章34节。
Exodus chapter 32, verse 30.
30节到了第二天，摩西对百姓说：“你们犯了大罪，我如今要上耶和华那里去，或者可以为你们赎罪。”31节，
31.
摩西回到耶和华那里说：“哎，这百姓犯了大罪，为自己做了金像。”32节，倘若你肯赦免他们的罪啊，不然求你从你所写的册子上涂抹我的名啊。33节，耶和华对摩西说：“谁得罪我，我就从我的册上涂抹谁的名。现在你去领这百姓啊，往我所告诉你的地方去。我的使者必在你面前引路，只是到我追讨这日子，我必追讨他们的罪。35节，
35.
耶和华杀百姓的缘故，是他们同亚伦做了牛犊。
30. Now it came to pass on the next day that Moses said to the people, "You have committed a great sin, so now I will go up to the Lord. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin." 31. Then Moses returned to the Lord and said, "Oh, these people have committed a great sin, and have made for themselves a god of gold." 32. Yet now, if you will forgive their sin, but if not, I pray, blot me out of your book which you have written. 33. And the Lord said to Moses, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot him out of my book." 34. Now therefore go, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. Behold, my angel shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day when I visit for punishment, I will visit punishment upon them for their sin.
30节到35节这一段是神要去惩罚这些民的罪。
This passage tells us that the Lord will punish the sins.
32节摩西说：“倘若你肯赦免他们的罪。”
But Moses said, "Will you forgive their sins?"
他是希望神能够去赦免他们，
He wishes that God can forgive them.
他不确定神会不会赦免他们，
He wasn't sure if God will do it.
所以摩西在这边胆子很大。
So here Moses,
他很勇敢，
he was very brave and
Uh.
very daring.
他用他自己的生命来跟神换百姓。
He was willing to use his own life to exchange it for the life of the Israelites.
他说如果你肯赦免他们赦免了，不然的话就求你从你所写的册子上涂抹我的名。
He says, "If not, I pray, blot me out of your book which you have written."
所以摩西他是一个好牧人，连百姓的一个生命，他就是为了救这些百姓，他可以牺牲自己。
Moses is a great shepherd. He was willing to sacrifice himself for the people that he led.
中文圣经这边有点，我不知道英文有没有，就是说，倘若你赦免他们的罪，那后面就点，就是没有讲话了，有英对，信英英文。在我以前在巴黎念神学的时候，我们老师说他说的真的假的我不知道，那点就是他没有讲话，就是在这个地方有没有？
Actually, if we read verse 32, it says, "Yet now, if you will forgive their sin," and afterwards it is a line.
他就问我们说，摩西在做什么？
And here, my teacher used to tell me that after that Moses did not speak anymore.
因为摩西要讲后面这句话，他要下很大决心。
And perhaps that is because if Moses was to say these words, he has to use a lot of his determination.
所以他要讲之前，他停了一下。
So perhaps before he spoke these words, he had to stop and think about it.
有犹太人的拉比文学的里面在记录说，摩西在这边哭。
And actually, from the notes from Jewish rabbis, it says here that he cried here.
因为他做这个决定之后呢，他可能永远离弃神。
Because perhaps after this decision, he will forever be forsaken by God.
如果神真的就是抛弃他来拯救以色列民的时候，这个以后呢，摩西就永远看不到神。
Because if God truly decided to exchange his life for that of the Israelites, then he would never be able to see God again.
所以他用他自己的生命来换。
He used his own life to exchange it for theirs.
到33章呢，神不愿意跟这些民同去，
But in chapter 33, God does not want to go with the people.
摩西再一次的来祈求神，
And Moses again prays to God.
他求神带着以色列民同去。
He asked that God will lead the Israelites.
虽然神没有杀以色列民，
Even though God did not kill the Israelites,
但是神不要以色列民。
but God does not want the Israelites anymore.
那你不要以色列民，当以色列民没有神的时候，哇，这个神跟以色列民的约就断掉了。
If God does not want the Israelites, then his alliance with the Israelites will be cut.
神要拣选摩西跟他的家族跟他全家。
God wants to choose Moses and his household instead.
能自私一点对啊，就我们全家得救就好，你们大家都不要得救，你们该死啊！
If Moses was a bit more selfish, then he would say, "Yes, why not just choose my family? Everyone else can die."
但是摩西他没有想到我全家要得救，他想到是整个神的选民要得救。
But Moses did not think about himself and his household. He thought about the whole people of Israel.
所以他的心肠永远想着百姓，想着神。
So his heart is always thinking about the people.
所以一个神的工人，他想的不是自己
So a true worker of God does not think about himself.
有时候为了教会，有时候为了神，有时候为了百姓，就被误会、被辱骂。
But sometimes for his people, for his church, he will get rebuked.
摩西都要忍住。
But Moses, he has to hold it in.
因为他为什么要忍住？
Why does he have to hold it?
因为他的肩膀扛着整个以色列民跟神之间的责任。
Because on his shoulder was the burden of the responsibility between to guide God's people.
他之前是为他岳父叶特罗在牧养，
At first, he was a shepherd for his father-in-law, Jethro.
他现在是为了神在牧养。
But now he is shepherding for God Himself.
所以整个以色列民他要安全的护送这些以色列民进到迦南。
So He has to safely guide these Israelites into the land of Canaan.
但是以色列民在这边发怨言，这边吵闹。
But the Israelites were complaining and they were making a scene.
这些发怨言吵闹的也都被神来击打了。
And all of these people who were arguing and complaining were punished by God.
但是摩西后来自己犯了错误。
But Moses, in the end, he also had done wrong.
他在米尼巴的地方用棒子击打磐石2次，得罪了神。
And in the end, in Meribah, he hit the rock twice and went against God's commandment.
神说他没有相信他，没有在百姓面前尊他为圣。
And God said that you have not honored me before the Israelites.
所以神不许他来进迦南。
So God did not allow him to enter the land of Canaan.
但是神带他去看到迦南。
But still, God
在山上去看迦南。
God led him on the mountains to see the land of Canaan.
神告诉他，他要死了。
God told Moses that he will die.
摩西眼睛没有昏花，身体没有衰败，很强壮。
Moses was still very strong and his eyes are still very clear.
犹大书里面说，天使跟撒旦就抢摩西的尸体，
And
他就死了。
in the book of Jude, it says that the angels and Satan were fighting over the body of Moses.
一个神很好的一个牧人，后来神亲自埋葬他。
But in the end, God Himself buried Moses.
所以在主耶稣在变帽山显现的时候，摩西就同着主耶稣跟以利亚就同时显现。
So when Jesus was praying on the Mount of Transfiguration, Moses and Elijah appeared.
这就是一个在神面前真的很好的好牧人。
We see that these were great shepherds before the Lord.
因为他在皇宫里面，他不懂得去牧养。
Because Moses in the palace, he did not know how to lead people.
他只有学习怎么管理，
He only knows how to manage,
怎么去命令别人，
how to command,
因为他有权利。
because he had authority.
可是他来命令这些羊，这些羊不会讲话，
But when he is trying to order these sheep cannot speak.
所以这些羊你只能照顾他。
The shepherd, the sheep, you could only take care of it.
他跑丢了，你要把它找回来。
If they are lost, you have to go find
主
them.
耶稣讲说，有100只羊，有99只留着，有1只不见了，你就是要把那1只找回来。
Jesus said that if there is 100 sheep and there's one who ran away, you have to go and find that single sheep.
所以，一个神重要的工人，你要懂得牧养。你不懂得牧养，你站在权力上，你去命令别人，去管理别人，这不是神要的。
If you are a worker of God and all you do is order people around and manage people, then this is not what God wants.
所以，神不但拣选了摩西，让摩西去牧养，神也拣选了大卫。
God does not only choose Moses to become a shepherd, he also chose David.
大卫也是一个牧羊人
David was a shepherd.
他当那个什么，大卫去见扫罗，说要跟歌利亚打仗的时候，扫罗看着说：“你行吗？”
And David went to see Saul, telling him that he is willing to fight Goliath.
他说：“我牧羊的时候，就从狮子的口里面把羊抢出来。”
And Saul asked him, "Are you truly able?" But David said that when he was shepherding, he has to take the flock back from the mouth of the lion.
羊被吃掉就算了，
If you think about it, if you lose one sheep to a lion, that's okay.
狮子野狼来吃羊，你去跟狼跟狮子去拼斗，那你自己是不是也可能会被吃掉？
If you go and fight against wolves and lions, wouldn't you be in danger of losing your own life?
他不顾自己的生命，他只看到羊。
He does not care about his own life.
所以神要拣选怎么样的人，
He only cares about the flocks.
合乎他心意的人。
So God only wants people who are
合乎神。
God only wants people who are after his own hearts.
对，那神喜欢的人，就是一个能够牺牲自己的。
And God wants someone that can sacrifice himself.
所以大卫后来呢，也是当一个很好的牧人，牧养了整个国家。
And so David also became a very good shepherd.
所以他做了一个很好的王。
He became a very good king
是因为他懂得牧养，
because he understood how to be a good shepherd.
他站在权力的最高，
He had the most authority.
摩西还没有他的权力，
Even Moses did not have as much authority as David.
摩西并不是王，
Moses was not a king,
但是大卫是王，
but David was a king.
他可以用他的权势来治理一切。
He could use his authority to control everything.
但是大卫选择了什么？神的律法，
What did David choose? He chose the laws of God.
选择了神的怜悯。
He chose God's mercy.
有人骂他，
Some people may rebuke him.
他甚至很生气，要把他杀掉。
His generals wanted to kill these people.
他说是耶和华神吩咐他来骂我。
But he says that it is God who chose these people to come and rebuke me.
一个人的人品修养，在神面前是被可敬的。
And for someone to
他的修养是被很尊敬的。
and for someone to refine himself, this is something that is respected before the Lord.
所以大卫在神面前变得一个很好的王。
And before the Lord, he became a very good king.
但是大卫以后的王呢？
But what about the kings that came after David?
生长在皇家里面，
They grew up in the royal family.
没有牧过羊，
They never had to tend the flocks.
他完全不能了解以色列民。
They cannot understand the Israelites.
他用他的权力来治理以色列民。
They used their own authority to control them.
后来的整个国家就越来越衰败。
And as their country goes on, it became more and more corrupt.
人跟神的之间的关系也断掉了。
And so the connection between God and men was cut.
所以这个时候，神就兴起他的先知。
So this time, God sent his prophets.
其实神兴起他先知的同时，在以色列国里面有祭司，有先知。
And even at the time when God sent his prophets, there were already prophets and priests within the kingdom of Israel.
这些祭司、这些先知都是只顾自己
However, these prophets and these priests only cared about themselves.
不能像摩西，不能像大卫。
They cannot be a Moses or a David.
他是牧养自己，不是牧养别人。
They were looking after themselves and not others.
所以整个以色列的整个历史就做一个很大的变化。
That is why we see that there's a great change in the history of Israel.
我们举个例子，请看列王纪上20章。
As an example, let's look at 1 Kings chapter 20.
我们看22章。
1 Kings chapter 22.
请看第8节，
22 verse 8.
从第7节念。
Start with verse 7.
约沙法说：“这里不是还有耶和华的先知，我们可以求问他吗？”第8节，以色列王说：“约沙法对约沙法说，还有一个人是因拉的儿子米该亚，我们可以托他求问耶和华。只是我恨他，因为他指着我所说的预言不说吉语，但说凶语。”约沙法说：“我们不必这样。”第9节，以色列王就招了一个太监来说：“你快去将因拉的儿子米该亚招来。”第10节，以色列王和犹太王约沙法在撒玛利亚城门前的空场上各穿朝服坐在位上，所有的先知都在他们面前说预言。那我们再跳过来那个12节。
Let's jump to verse 12.
所有的先知也都是这样预言说，可以上基列的拉莫去，必然得胜，因为耶和华必将那城交在王的手中。13节，
13.
那去招米该亚的使者对米该亚说：“众先知异口同音的都向王说吉语，你不如与他们一样的说一样的话，也说吉语。”14节，米该亚说：“
14.
我指着永生神耶和华起誓，耶和华对我说什么，我就说什么。”
Verse 7. And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not still a prophet of the Lord here, that we may inquire of him? 8. So the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, There is still one man, Micaiah the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, because he does not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say such things. 9. Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, Bring Micaiah the son of Imlah quickly. 10. The king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah, having put on their robes, sat each on his throne at a threshing floor at the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. 12. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord will deliver it into the king's hand. 13. Then the messenger who had gone to call Micaiah spoke to him, saying, Now listen, the words of the prophets with one accord, encouraging the king. Please let your word be like the word of one of them, and speak encouragement. 14. And Micaiah said, As the Lord lives, whatever the Lord says to me, that I will speak.
所以在这个地方，所有的先知都说预言，说那个雅想听的。
So here we see that all the prophets are saying things that these kings want to hear,
不是神叫他讲的。
and not truly what God wants to say.
他们都没有想到神的子民。
They did not think about the people of God.
只有想到他们自己。
They only thought about themselves.
只有想到他们在亚哈王面前他们的地位。
They only thought about their authority and their stature
我们看17节
before King Ahab. Let's look at verse 17.
你刚要说，我看见以色列众民散在山上，如同没有牧人的羊群一般。又有说这民没有主人，他们可以平平安安的归各家去。
Verse 17. Then he said, I saw Israel scattered on the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let each return to his house in peace.
主耶稣讲说，牧人被打击，羊就散了。
Jesus said that if the shepherd was attacked, then the sheep will scatter.
我们都以为一个传道被打击，所以我们信徒都走了。没有呢，我们传道被打击，我们信徒还留下来呢。
Sometimes we think that passage is talking about how if a minister leaves, then everyone will be scattered, but we all remain in church.
在这个地方说，以色列众民散在山上，如同没有牧人的羊群一般。
And here it says that the Israelites scatter on the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd.
他们有王有先知
They have kings and prophets.
那怎会是没有牧人的羊群一般呢？
How come there are people with no shepherd?
我们请看以赛亚书29章。
Let's look at the book of Isaiah, chapter 29.
请看第9节。
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 19.
以赛亚书29章第9节。
Verse 9.
第9节，你们等候惊奇吧，你们咽了昏迷吧。他们醉了，却非因酒；他们东倒西歪，却非因浓酒。第10节，
10.
因为耶和华将沉睡的灵浇灌你们，封闭你们的眼，蒙盖你们的头。你们的眼就是先知，你们的头就是先见。11节，所有的末世，你们看如封住的书卷，人将这书卷交给识字的说，请念吧。他说我不能念，因为是封住了。12节，又将这书卷交给不识字的人说，请念吧。他说我不识字。在这个地方说，他们那个东倒西歪，却非因为浓酒。
Here it says that they stagger, but not with intoxicating drink.
他们醉了也不是因为酒。
So they are drunken, but not with wine.
第10节说，是耶和华将沉睡的灵浇灌你们，封闭你们的眼，蒙盖你们的头。
Verse 10 says, For the Lord has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, namely the prophets.
你们的头就是你们的眼就是先知，你们的头就是先见。
Your eyes, namely the prophets, and your heads, namely the seers.
所以养了很多的先知
So actually, Ahab had a lot of prophets.
全部去迎合
They were all there to encourage Ahab.
所以你知道教会如果成了一股势力的时候，那很恐怖。就是如果这些人不照着神的旨意，而自己形成一个力量的时候，这很恐怖。
When these people do not follow God anymore and use their own authority, this becomes very scary.
所以所有的末世，所有神的旨意都看不到了，
We can no longer see what is God's will.
全部被封住
Everything is sealed.
谁来封我们？
Who is sealing us?
就是先知先见，
Because these are the prophets and the seers.
就神的工人
These are the workers of God.
因为 神的工人让我们看不到神。
Because God's workers have sealed us and blinded us.
所以我们百姓就变成怎么样？看13节
Let's look at verse 13.
啊，主说：“因为这百姓亲近我，用嘴唇尊敬我，心却远离我。他们敬畏我，不过是领受了人的吩咐。”
13. Therefore the Lord said, Inasmuch as these people draw near with their mouths, and honor me with their lips, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the commandment of men.
为什么百姓亲近神是用嘴唇，而心却远离神呢？
Why do the people honor God with their lips, but have removed their hearts from God?
因为他们敬畏神是领受人的吩咐。
Because they fear the Lord only because they are following the commandments of man.
因为为了讨好别人，
Because they want to please others.
神的声音听不到了，
They no longer hear the voice of God.
所以讲了半天都是人的吩咐。
So whatever they speak, it was the commandments of man.
所以这些百姓他的心就远离了神。
So to these people, their hearts have gone very far away from God.
我们看以西结书34章，
Let's look at Ezekiel chapter 34.
请看第1节，
Ezekiel chapter 34 verse 1.
以西结书34章第1节。
Ezekiel chapter 34 verse 1.
耶和华的话临到我说，第2节，人子啊，你要向以色列的牧人发预言，攻击他们说，主耶和华如此说：祸在以色列的牧人，只是牧养自己，牧人岂不当牧养群羊吗？第3节，
3.
你们是子由穿羊毛，宰肥壮的，却不牧养群羊。第4节，
4.
瘦弱的你们没有养壮，有病的你们没有医治，受伤的你们没有缠果，被逐的你们没有领回，失丧的你们没有寻找，但用强暴严严的辖制。第5节，
5.
因无牧人，羊就分散，既分散便做了一切野兽的事物。第6节，
6.
我的羊在诸山间，在各高杆上流离，在全地上分散，无人去寻，无人去找。
Verse 1. And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, 2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, Thus says the Lord God to the shepherds, Woe to the shepherds of Israel, who feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? 3. You eat the fat and clothe yourself with the wool. You slaughter the fatlings, but you do not feed the flock. 4. The weak you have not strengthened, nor have you healed those who were sick, nor bound up the broken, nor brought back what was driven away, nor sought what was lost, but with force and cruelty you have ruled them. 5. So they were scattered because there was no shepherd, and they became food for all the beasts out of the field when they were scattered.
在这个地方讲到说，以色列的牧人只知牧养自己。
Here it says that the shepherds of Israel only looked after themselves.
岂不当牧养群羊吗？
Should the shepherd not feed the flocks?
所以在这个地方很明显就点出了以色列整个国家出了问题了。
So here it points out that Israel had a problem in their own country.
从第3节到第6节连续说没有，
In verse 3 to 6, it tells us that they haven't done many things.
瘦弱的没有养壮，
Those who are weak, they have not strengthened.
有病的没有医治，
Those who are sick, they have not healed.
受伤的没有缠果，
Those who are broken, they have not bound up.
被逐的没有领回，
Those who are driven away, they have not brought back.
失丧的没有寻回。
And those who were
没有寻
lost,
找。
they did not go and seek them out.
然后因为没有牧人，无牧人羊，因为没有牧羊人所以羊就分散。
Because there is no shepherd, so the sheep scattered.
所以在这个地方有好几个没有。
So here it tells us there are so many that they have not.
这个没有不是只有在以色列国，
And of course, this doesn't apply only to Israel.
这个没有也在今天我们的教会。
And this also applies to us today.
我们今天为什么没有呢？
How come today there are many things that we don't have?
因为我们只知牧养自己。
Because we only shepherd ourselves.
牧人岂不当牧养群羊吗？
Or the sheep not to feed the flocks.
教会有这么多的瘦弱的有病的、没有医治的、受伤的，为什么没有呢？
There are so many who are weak, so many who needs to be healed, so many that are broken that needs to be bound up.
我们看第7节，
Let's look at verse 7.
所以你们这些牧人要听耶和华的话。第8节，主耶和华说：“我指着我的永生启示，我的羊因无牧人就成为猎物也做了一切野兽的食物。我的牧人不寻找我的羊这些牧人只知为牧养自己，并不牧养我的羊。”第9节，所以你们这些牧人要听耶和华的话。第10节，主耶和华如此说：“我必与牧人为敌，必向他们的手追讨我的羊，使他们不再牧放群羊。牧人也不再牧养自己，我必救我的羊脱离他们的口，不再做他们的师傅。
7. Therefore you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. 8. As I live, says the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became food for every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, nor did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and did not feed my flock. 9. Therefore, O shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. 10. Thus says the Lord God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand. I will cause them to cease feeding the sheep, and the shepherds shall feed themselves no more, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may no longer be food for them.
在这个地方神在质问这些牧羊人。
So here, the Lord talks directly to these shepherds.
在警告牧羊人，叫他要听神的话。
He is warning them to listen to the words of God.
如果再不听神的话，神要弃绝他们。
If they continue to not listen to God, then God will forsake them.
摩西是为了百姓自己愿意让神弃绝，
Moses was willing to be forsaken by God for his people.
可是这些神的工人呢，是因为为了自己，神要弃绝他。
But here, these workers of God, because of themselves, God was ready to abandon them.
所以神要追讨他们，
But the Lord wants to find his flock.
要使他们不再来当牧人。
And he wants to punish them so that these shepherds will no longer be shepherds.
那我们因为时间关系，我们下礼拜会继续11节以后的。
And because of time, next week we'll continue to talk about this, starting from verse 11.
11节以后到31节，神必亲自做牧者。
And from verse 11 to 31, it tells us how God himself would become the shepherd.
诗篇23篇大卫说：“耶和华是我的牧者。”
And Psalm chapter 23, it says, the Lord is my shepherd.
主耶稣在约翰福音第10章说：“我是好牧人，为羊舍命。”
And in John chapter 10, it tells us that Jesus says that I am the good shepherd.
大家如果有空这些经文都可以先读一下，我们再一起来学习。
And if we have the time, we should read these passages so that we can once again study it together.